Hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here, and welcome to another deadly episode of JamesMCD's Friday Nightmare. And today we will be taking a look at the final installment in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Yeah, sure. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, released in 1991, directed by Rachel Talalay. As the title suggests, this movie centers around Freddy making his grand return to Elm Street as a group of people try to figure out how to put him down once and for all. Now, I know I made the joke about, this claiming to be the final chapter while still having 2 more movies and a remake coming after it, but to their credit, they did really truly treat this like it was the final part. There was a 2-year gap between the release of Part 5 and Part 6, and all the taglines were claiming that they've saved the best for last. And did they make true on that promise? No, not really. I mean, I'll give it this. This movie is still better than, the worst of the Friday the 13th movies, but it's still not very good. As a final chapter, it did some things right, but it didn't really keep me interested enough throughout the whole thing to say, this was worth it, this was a worthy, conclusion. I'll go over some of the positives first. So, positives, admittedly there aren't a whole lot of, cool looking nightmare sequences or visual effects in this one, but, the ones that are there are really fucking cool. There's a whole, section with Freddy controlling someone in a video game, and the way that they do that with, the character actually, moving around, super stiff in real life, and how they, green screen him into the video game graphics and everything like that. It is really, really cool. Some of the effects with, a lot of the dreams of, people falling out of their house and shit like that. Those were really well done. But I don't know, this time I feel like the nightmare scenes and the visual effects and the stuff that was good about the last 2 kind of took a backseat to just a very uninteresting story with very bland characters. It doesn't pick up from where the 5th one left off. It completely ignores Alice and her kid, even though early drafts of the script were supposed to have Alice's kid as an adult being the focus of the movie, and even the plot of the movie devolves into Freddy trying to find his biological child, which feels like what the 5th one already was. So they had a perfect excuse to bring Alice and those characters back, but I guess they just didn't or couldn't afford to. The things that were the most interesting about the story were the things that showed bits of Freddy's backstory, showing him growing up and showing his family life and everything like that. And I've got to be honest, seeing Robert Englund without the makeup is almost a little more creepy than seeing him with the makeup and everything like that. Those scenes are really well played out, and the performances across those sequences are really well done. But it also explains how Freddy became immortal and how he became a dream demon, and it's these little, sperm-looking demon things who are we can give you your powers, Freddy, and blah, 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 which is really kind of stupid, and the climax of the movie shows them having to bring him to the real world and kill him and everything like that, which feels like what they've been trying to do for the rest of the movies, and it didn't work the first time. So, but I guess because it's the final chapter, they just decide to make it work this time. The characters this time around were really obnoxious and uninteresting. There's a kid who opens up the movie and he gets tossed into Springwood with no memory and no clue of what's going on. And at first I honestly thought it was Jesse from Part 2, but no, it wasn't the same actor or even the same character. But he's kind of thrown in as a red herring to get you to believe that he is Freddy's son or Freddy's child, but then it just turns out to be just that, is like a false alarm, until it gets revealed that this other girl is actually Freddy's child, and she's the only one that can, like, kill him at the end. Yeah, ultimately, like I said, there are parts that I found pretty decent, and like I said, it's not as bad as, like, some of the Friday the 13th sequels, but of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, this is easily the weakest of all of them. Like, at least 2 and 4 had some, like, interesting things and, stuff to keep me invested, but this just didn't really have a whole lot going for it. So yeah, kind of a weak note to end this series on, but if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it a 2.5 out of 5. But anyway, that does it for another episode of the Friday Nightmare. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of Freddy's Dead. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Where does it rank amongst the Nightmare on Elm Street movies? And do you think that it was a satisfactory conclusion to the Nightmare on Elm Street series? Let me know all that stuff down below. And while this may be the final Nightmare, we still have a long way to go before the end of this series. So tune in next Monday as we'll be taking a look at Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Until then, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay up to date on what I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel, everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.